And Thomas Bryant, yes, but I mean that's not saying too much. But at least you got another big body in the game. But it's like you look at this team, and it's like, man, no wonder they only got 23 wins. Like you, your starting lineup is pretty below average, and then you got all your players that you got all your top players coming off the bench. You know what I'm saying? Putting up big numbers in minutes off the bench. So it's like I don't know, man. It's kind of weird, but good win for the Lakers. But at the same time, it's against the Spurs, man. It's against the Spurs. LeBron only scored 20 points in this game. Was he like 158 now? 150 away from Kareem's record. But he had a bad shooting game. Went back to normal. 1 for 6 from the 3-point line. I don't know why he loves shooting these 3-pointers. I don't know if he's shooting these 3-pointers because he trying to preserve himself. Because I'm so used to seeing him like attacking the basket. You know, like in the paint. A lot of times, like in the paint. And now he's shooting up 3-pointers and everything. Maybe he's just preserving himself because he's 38 years old. Maybe that's why. Because he's shooting a lot of threes, and he's not making them at all, man. Except for Tuesday's night game, but he's not making them at all. But nice to see Anthony Davis back. Nice to see Hakimura wearing the gold, and it's gonna be this Laker team is gonna be interesting to watch down the stretch. And remember what I said in yesterday's podcast. They're only like 3 games away from the Clippers in fifth place. They're only like 3 games away. Probably less than that now. Maybe 2.5 games away now. You know what I'm saying? You could have bad a bad a bad losing stretch. Like just a bad week. You played 3 times this week. You lost all 3 games, and the Lakers could be replacing your spot. The number 13 seed could replace your spot as the number 6 seed or the number 7 seed or the number 8 seed or even the number 5th seed. So that race to the playoffs in the West is pretty damn tight. It's pretty tight, and the Warriors got to win against Memphis, so they probably not even in 10th place no more. They probably up in their rankings themselves because they're probably like half a game away. Even though they're 10th, they're probably like half a game away from being like 7. I make sure I check the standings and everything to see like where they at after last night's win. But I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, don't count the Lakers out yet. Lakers have not been full strength. They got Davis back, come off the bench. They got Hakimura and everything, getting used to this new team. And sooner or later, they're gonna put Westbrook back in the starting lineup, or he's gonna get real big starting lineup numbers and minutes. Like 12 minutes, he's on the bench. By 9:15, he's in the game. Sooner or later, he's gonna be a big. He gonna put a big contribution in minutes once the games get to about March and April, where these games is a matter of you staying home this all season, or you in the play in, or even the playoffs. So I'm not counting this like a team out. Not one little bit. Not counting that one little bit. And before I end my segment on the NBA, let me give a little shout out to Damian Lillard, man. I guess a really good Utah team that's sniffing the playoffs this year. Sniffing the playoffs this year. You know, Dame went ahead and put 60 points on these dudes, man. 21 from 29 field goal shooting. 9 for 10 from the free throw line. The guy wasn't missing. And yes, he was shooting those 30-footers that Jordan Poole thought he could shoot and knocking them down. The like like the man was not missing. And not only the man was not only he wasn't missing on the court, he wasn't missing on the microphone either, or the interviews either. Cause he said me scoring 60 points against them was fairly simple. Simple. That was another way of saying, man, that was light work. That was easy work. No competition. Their defensive players had no competition against me. That was a very, very nice way to say, y'all some bums. I can score 60 with y'all every time we play. And that might actually happen. That he might be right. Fairly simple. Fairly simple was his words. Wow. Um, I would talk about the Bucks and Nuggets, but only reason why I didn't want to talk about the Bucks and Nuggets, cause even though the Bucks got to win and Giannis played a damn good game against the Nuggets had nobody, man. They had nobody. They didn't have Jokic. They didn't have Murray. They didn't have nobody. You know, like it's like you don't got Jokic, you don't got Jamal Murray. You're not gonna win a game against the top team in the East. You're just not. But man, if they was full strength and Milwaukee being full strength, that could have been a really good game. Cause that's basically you're basically watching the top team in the East versus the top team in the West, and the game was even on TV. Maybe because they know the injury report, or maybe because it's rivalry week, so they're gonna put the rivalries on TV. Than that, but that's a game that I like to watch on TV. Denver and Milwaukee right now, number one team in the West, number one team in the East. Let's see. Let's get a little NBA Finals preview. But no Jamal Murray, no Nikola Jokic. I'm good. I'll go ahead and watch Steph throw my pieces at people instead. Before I get out of here, I gotta fix my past comments that I made. A lot of times I'll say what I say. On these on this microphone. Sometimes things don't sit right with me after I said it, cause it's it's freestyle. You know what I'm saying? It's it's freestyle talk on the mic. Like I said before, I have ideas what I want to talk about, but ain't nothing rehearsed, ain't nothing written down. This is a conversation, and sometimes in the conversation you say something, then you think about what you said, right? And that's what happened. That's what happened when I was talking about Wilt Chamberlain, um, yesterday's episode. For those of y'all who's listening to my podcast for the first time, episode 30. I'm gonna start name my episodes with the episode number, because when I say past episodes or yesterday's episode or episode that I talked about earlier this week, I'm getting understanding that this could be the first time you listen to my show, that you didn't you wasn't aware of episode early this week. So episode 30, I'm referring to episode 30 of my comments of Wilt Chamberlain and how it's hard for me to see him as a 76er. You know what I mean? And the reason why I say that is because like every time ev- every time I look or I see anything that has anything to do with Will Chamberlain, he's a Warrior or he's a Laker. Other than him scoring 100 points. 100 points, he got the Philly jersey on. Yeah, okay. He got that. But I kind of forgot about his first championship. Not that I did not know that he didn't win two championships, but I had to really look at it. I was like, wait, what team did he win that championship with? Because that second championship, Lakers, you already know that. That's because the Lakers name is so big. You can't forget a Laker, basically, right? You can forget a 76er before you forget a Laker. So I was like, well, I'm aware about his championship with the Lakers. Who do you win a championship with? You know what I mean? Like, and then I looked it up and realized, oh, he won a championship with Philadelphia. 5 years earlier. Okay, kind of forgot about that. Every time I think of him as a 76, I think about 100 points. You know what I mean? I didn't think 3 MVPs as a 76er. You know what I mean? I didn't think that. Um, when he averaged 50 points in the game, and then I went MVP. He was a warrior. When he got Rookie of the Year and MVP in the same season, he was a warrior. When I'm seeing highlights of Jerry West and everything, I see Will Chamberlain as a Laker. The only time I really see him as a 76er is 100 points. But that's not the case. He's definitely a bigger 76er than he was a Laker. So I take back what I said in episode 30 about Will Chamberlain, not seeing him as a Sixer more than as a Laker. That's not the case. As a Laker, it was obviously the last years of his career, even though he was still relevant. He was still relevant, even though it was the last years of his career, just like LeBron. LeBron last years of his career, but he's still relevant. So if anything, when comparing his career team wise with LeBron's career team wise, if anything, the Warriors for Will Chamberlain is the Cavaliers for LeBron. And the 76ers for Will Chamberlain is the Miami Heat for LeBron. You know, and the Lakers is basically the same thing as for Will Chamberlain as is for LeBron, because they both got one ring with the Lakers, and they both was playing out the last years of their career, even though they were still relevant. So I take that back. I know if anybody was listening to that that's over the age of 45 years old, they probably like, yo, what is he talking about? They probably was. My apologies. I was just going by for what I see. You know what I mean? I you know I'm not my age in the 1960s where I seen Wilt Chamberlain play live. But a lot of times when I see him, or I hear about him, or I see his stats, or I hear 20 rebounds a game and everything. I mean, yeah, he was doing stuff like that on 76ers too. But a lot of things I hear about or I see, he's either wearing a Laker jersey or a Warrior jersey. Oh, 1962, he didn't win MVP, but he was 50 points a game and 20 rebounds and everything. They gave it to Bill Russell. How he didn't win MVP? He was he was a warrior. At that moment, he was a warrior. They was in Philadelphia and they moved to San Francisco. Still warrior. He was part of the move to the Bay Area. He was on that team when they moved to the Bay Area. He was a warrior. I see him more as a warrior than anything else a lot of times. But that wasn't factual. I fact checked my statements, and now I'm on this episode to take back what I said in episode 30. The man won 3 MVPs and a championship ring as a Philadelphia 76er. He is definitely relevant as a 76er. Probably more of a 76er than he is a Laker. Take back what I said. My apologies. That's all I want to do. It's just admit to my flaws and right my wrong. So that's my show, man. That's my episode. It was fun. Last night was fun. To tonight on TNT, we got We continue on with rivalry week with my New York